you will be used as a pawn and you will be dumped when the time is right. So Anita Among it is time for them to dump her. So now they are weaponizing corruption, which they turned to a blind eye. In fact, in the way
at this point, it really looks like there is no point of survival for Honorable Anita Among as Mr. Esega analyzes what has been happening in NRM straight from the time of General Kale Kaihura, saying that the NRM, the Museveni family, actually just uses you and dumps you when the time is right. And he blames them for actually weaponizing corruption and using it as a way of bringing down most of the leaders who try to really be there for them at all costs. And at this time round, we are seeing Honorable Anita Among actually going down to the point that even Ugandans never expected. Honorable Anita Among expected that she would be leading the 12th Parliament as the Speaker, but from yesterday's meeting at State House, we saw her actually being asked to step down, and PLU actually with General Muhoozi Kainerugaba endorsing both Honorable Oboth, who was the previous minister, as the person to run for speakership in the 12th Parliament against Norbert Mao. This really continues to go crazy. Do you think Honorable Anita Among still has any chance? We saw many MPs warning Anita Among. Who remembers this video?
Right Honorable Anita Among has been painted out for being corrupt. Your name has been mentioned for being corrupt. We are also having a motion to have a matter debated on the commissioners. We have our evidence. We want to lay and have them defend themselves. You are all blocking us from that. What is this parliament all about? Where are you taking this country? Today this country is under panic. Today they have deployed the army massively because of issues of corruption in this country. Why don't you let Ugandans free from corruption? Why don't you allow us debate the matter of corruption in this parliament, here in this floor?
If you all remember that statement in the 11th Parliament where Honorable Alion actually talked about all this corruption of Honorable Anita Among, and nobody reacted through it. And right now we are seeing 40 days of Anita Among has finally come to an end. But Ugandans, does this blame go to Honorable Anita Among, or it goes back to her party? Was she being used, or she really knew what she was doing? People say, in the analysis of Mr. Esega, he's saying General Kale Kaihura was one of the most corrupt officials that Uganda has ever had, but he didn't splash his money just like Anita Among did. So what was the major problem with Anita Among? Was it showing off with the money which was actually done, gotten through corruption? Now things have actually turned so crazy. We don't know where all this is actually going to head to. I can't add much more on this, but let us know in the comment section, what do you think about these developing stories? Things are not good for Honorable Anita Among at this point. If you haven't subscribed to Scales News Daily, subscribe to continue getting the latest updates on what is happening in Uganda, and let us know your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell from personalized to all to get our content anytime that we post here on Scales News Daily.
Time for them to dump her. So now they are weaponizing corruption, which they turned to a blind eye. In fact, in the wake of the parliamentary exhibition, President Museveni even went to Bukedea and launched the developments there, the hospital where the wards are named after family members of the president. So corruption here, like the debate we had at the beginning, but President Museveni uses corruption when it conveniently suits him. He will come out as a whistleblower, as a fighter in chief of corruption. So he's now weaponizing corruption to finish Anita Among politically. Just like he weaponized it to finish Gilbert Bukenya politically. Gilbert Bukenya is a non-entity today because he did not understand Museveni politics. Anita Among has walked down the same route. Now, Anita Among has two options: to take on Museveni head on and either die or survive politically, or
Leonard
Anita Among is not the most corrupt person in Uganda's history. Other than, he's not.
It's possible.
She's not anywhere close.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm saying because I've looked at the numbers before coming to this show.
Yes.
The money blown by General Kale Kaihura when he was at the helm of police, is in the stratosphere. You cannot compare with the money Anita Among has been playing with in Parliament.
He didn't buy Rolls Royce.
Yeah, the only difference is that maybe you see Kaihura was not interested in showing off.
We have no information on this.
I have looked at the numbers before
that Kaihura blew a certain amount of money.
And I was one of the people who wrote open letters to General Kale Kaihura when he was IGP, calling for his resignation and even informing him, just like I informed Anita Among years ago.
What do you know? What do you know about
what I'm telling you, Anita Among is not the most corrupt person. What Anita Among did was to try to be a mini Museveni, and that is a sacrilegious sin in the Museveni regime. She tried to mimic President Museveni. The only other person who committed that sin is Professor Gilbert Bukenya. And I can say the Right Honorable Anita Among, unless she's handled by very sophisticated guys, I don't see her, in the next few days, walking a different path from the one walked by Professor Gilbert Bukenya. So you see, Anita Among amassed wealth through official budgeted corruption and other means, which could actually also be questioned. But now here is the contradiction. The same people who we are told were present in State House yesterday, from police, from other investigation agencies, to pin her before the president and the religious leaders. President Museveni is a very dangerous politician. Even brought the chairman of the Episcopal Conference to crush all her defenses, because he knew that she's likely to go and mobilize the Catholic Church to lobby for her. So he crushed that defense and invited the chairman of the Episcopal Conference in the meeting, as it is reported in the media. So what happens? In 2024, when you ran the parliamentary exhibition, yes, I helped one of the guys you were running the parliamentary exhibition with to write a letter to CID detailing all the amounts that you had put out there in the open with proof. CID did not open a general inquiry file as they normally do. So what happened? They turned a blind eye. Why? Because at that time, Anita Among played clever politics. She appeared with President Museveni and claimed that she believes in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And indeed, she knelt down before the president and said the president will protect her. Now, a time has come when her political usefulness to President Museveni's project and the transition is deemed to be of no political value, so they have decided to discard her. As Dr. Besigye said, as long as you're not a member of the Museveni family, you will be used as a pawn and you will be dumped when the time is right. So Anita Among it is time for them to dump her. So now they are weaponizing corruption, which they turned to a blind eye. In fact, in the wake of the parliamentary exhibition, President Museveni even went to Bukedea and launched the developments there, the hospital where the wards are named after family members of the president. So corruption here, like the debate we had at the beginning, but President Museveni uses corruption when it conveniently suits him. He will come out as a whistleblower, as a fighter in chief of corruption. So he's now weaponizing corruption to finish Anita Among politically. Like he weaponized it to finish Gilbert Bukenya politically. Gilbert Bukenya is a non-entity today because he did not understand Museveni politics. Anita Among has walked down the same route. Now, Anita Among has two options: to take on Museveni head on and either die or survive politically, or be eaten like a samosa.
All right, Honorable George Musisi, you'll be the people making the decision on who should lead you.
There was a meeting in State House yesterday, and for some reason there was the Speaker of the 11th Parliament and the Speaker of the 10th Parliament and other people in that meeting, and it is said that the meeting resolved that the Speaker of the 11th Parliament shall henceforth be the outgoing Speaker and not the Speaker of the 12th Parliament, which she had already geared up for. Because first of all, there are two things. One, like I said earlier, what having informally before the discussion, that the 12th Parliament is going to have one of the lowest attrition rates, meaning that the number of MPs who did not make it back, normally it's about 70% of MPs don't go back to Parliament. For this particular Parliament, it was about 40% only that didn't make it back. So those who read the political leaves were saying that someone was really preparing, that they made sure that so many MPs who are known to them and loyal to them went back to Parliament to vote for them. That's one. Two, the other thing we know is that the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU, which I think is an illegal outfit, but we can have that discussion another day, says they withdrew their endorsement of the the Speaker of the 11th Parliament for the 12th Parliament speakership. Now, critically,
you can mention names.
That critically, that happened just a day before the Speaker of the 11th Parliament went to take her oath of office as a member of Parliament for Bukedea District, woman MP, being Anita Among. Now, what I gather is that these things were not isolated. The decision was taken the day before because they wanted to drag the carpet off her feet. That was said that she had organized a procession of about 200 MPs to escort her, and these guys were running ahead of her.
It was called MP election.
They were running ahead of her. The latest I have heard now is that there was the dinner where all MPs. No, forget the dinner. There was they were going to escort her in a procession to the Parliament to take the oath. The dinner was supposed to be tomorrow, and I'm hearing that dinner too has been cancelled.
I have seen a notification here which is saying that the Speaker's dinner, which was due to take place tomorrow, has been cancelled. But I also am asking myself, who is the Speaker? Because we no longer have Parliament in session.
I mean, so when they're saying Speaker, they mean the 11th
the outgoing speaker.
Yes.
Okay.
So, long and short of it is that there's been a seismic shift in the politics of Parliament, and who is going to be the leader of Parliament. I mean, also you can look at the first Sunday Street. This morning he's been tweeting how he has endorsed Oboth, who is the current defense minister, the outgoing minister for defense. But remember that Oboth expressed interest in being a deputy speaker.
The man who processed the Tojiko attack.
Yes, the guy processed. I mean, he
was the chairperson of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee.
Yes, but before that, he expressed interest in being the
deputy speaker of the 11th Parliament.
Then he was not
and
given
we were actually told he was the choice of President Yoweri Museveni after the demise of Jacob Oulanyah.
I don't think we know who President Museveni's choice is. President Museveni, unlike most of these other politicians, I mean, there's a video circulating right now of the 11th Parliament speaker saying that I'm going to be in this seat for 10 years, and then
as deputy
speaker, and then 10 years as. Now it's ironic that she served as the shortest serving speaker of Parliament, and she's likely to serve as the shortest serving Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, with the exception of Oulanyah, who died a few months into the office. So basically, what we are seeing is that there are, and we have reason to believe that these are not rumors. It seems like there's real reason to believe now that Anita Among, her goose is cooked. Or it could be said that it was just to do with her what we are calling her spending of money, blah blah blah. Parliamentary money. I mean, Agora, where I work, has exposed a lot of irregular, at least questionable, expenditure of money under the leadership of Anita Among. Today, I just made a tweet which showed that around July last year, I think it must have been 27th or 21st of July last year, about as much as close to it was actually 4.19 billion, that is 4,190 million was withdrawn by the people like Chris Obore, people like Okema Leonard. People are very close to the speaker. Now, when you interrogate the circumstances of that time, was that was the thick of the SEC election, which SEC election last year we had Tayewa coming on TV and saying that we have never seen money changing hands like this. It's just been a lot of money.
That is a cardinal sin that Anita Among committed.
I don't know if that's a cardinal sin. Yeah. Basically, for me, I would say that her cardinal sins are probably about 3. 1, that she had a lot of this money and she was spending it so lavishly. I think there's an unwritten rule in the NRM that you can have so much money from this, but make sure that it's not known. We've lived all our lives in this country with people who are called very corrupt leaders. We don't even know what their houses look like.
All right.
You could Google. Yeah. So basically, the other thing is that I think she became too powerful, and there was this fear that maybe she could cause an upset at some point. Finally,
political scenario.
Yes. Finally,
Toko needs a
let him conclude. Let him conclude.
Now, my
favorite subject.
This is
Toko represents.
All right.
This subject, I can take off. No, I'm not a hater. On this subject, I can take off my shirt and then. But finally, I think
you need to give him a monologue.
I think finally, her cardinal, what would be her cardinal sin? In this case, it's not a cardinal sin because she didn't commit it. Is that, I mean, look at her like. Her father wasn't in Fonasa, her grandfather wasn't in Fonasa.
All right.
She just happened to be her. You get it?
All
so
right.
I think those 3 things conspired against her. And I think her political goose is cooked.
All right. There are certain things that you've said, people withdrawing money in cash and so forth.
No.
I have no proof on this table.
Yeah, but I have the proof on my Twitter.
Conclude.